Hello everybody, and I have spent 10 years on a movie, but I'm not going to bore you over the entire 10-year period. I have made a previous documentary detailing exactly why it took this long, and it was about 9 years into that 10-year journey where I decided I was just going to go at it entirely myself because of things that were beyond my control. I'm going to take you over the entire year-long process. I'm here with my amazing fiancée, Ashley.
Hello.
Who was director of photography, producer, project manager, and was there for almost every single shoot. And we're just going to take you through the entire year. So buckle up.
Don't quite know what to do anymore. 9 years is a long time to be working on a project and seemingly have made no further progress.
Thank you all for coming. I know a lot of you have travelled quite far. I should also point out that during all of these production issues, something that wasn't mentioned in the previous documentary was that I attempted to buy my own drone, and a colleague of mine had a drone pilot's license, and we were going to really try it out. And I ended up with an absolutely terrible one. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do remember it, because you tried to give it back, didn't you?
We went to a reservoir and did some test footage, which I've still got. Because we're attempting to use this drone for the first time. It's quite poorly made and cheap, but we're going to see if this actually works. I don't really know what I'm doing. As you can tell.
Oh! Yo! I can't see anything.
Is that there, baby? Oh, you mean on the camera?
It was supposed to be 4K, and as you can see, I ended up filing a complaint because this was it was awful. I didn't know what I was doing with the flying. It was just a test, but that was so bad. At first, I wasn't sure if it was even possible to do the movie that I wanted to make. Although realistically, the movie I wanted to make did involve a lot of other people, but everyone kept letting me down. When Ben, the director, backed out in August 2024, I was like, let me just make the entire movie with me writing, me shooting, me producing, me editing, and me playing the majority of the cast, which, to be fair, I was already playing a variety of characters, but this was going to be different to the point I was almost every single character, and I didn't know if it was feasible or possible.
Let's add a bit more fuel to the fire and see how they like some AI.
Whatever it is that you want, I'm sorry, alright? Please never say that again. Alright, this is when he's face to face with me. There's certain scenes that do need to be serious, and I'm just a bit concerned how that tone will hold up being played all by the same person at the same time. But I have a vision in my head, and truth be told, if I do manage to finish this within a year and it looks like arse, I don't even think I'll put it out. So that's an extra part of the challenge.
But I needed a new script. This script I put together quite quickly, actually. It was probably, I want to say, about 6 weeks. That was finished, I think, around September, October 2024. I wanted it to coincide with the 10-year anniversary of the first movie, which would have been September the 2nd, 2025.
So we are 2 days into this year-long challenge. Can I make a movie in a year from scratch? Excluding the footage we've already filmed that I'm hoping to incorporate into it. I've got about a quarter of the screenplay done. I'm setting aside a weekend or a day at the weekend coming up to lock myself in there like I did before and come out with a full screenplay. I've made some calls about potential cameos, fleshing out the screenplay, trying to figure out how certain characters could be portrayed by me realistically without ruining the entire tone.
The script was done quite quickly. It had elements of the previous versions in, but we had a script. We were good to go.
Okay, well, I got severe writer's block during the writing process, but a few days ago I finished a draft of the screenplay. There's a few things I need to tweak in the third act, the big climax, but yeah, I've got a draft done. It took just over a month to come up with a new screenplay. The countdown continues. I think that the next filming day is actually going to be very soon.
Thankfully, Ashley has a colleague whose husband is a drone pilot. So how did that come about?
So I was in the minibus because I work at a school, and we were taking them on a school trip. And I have a colleague that was really interested in Rob's film, and he was mad on comic books. He's a man-child at heart. I was like, it's perfect for Rob.
This is Anthony,
Yeah, this is Anthony, yeah.
who would later play Blade, Darth Vader, Nick Fury, the Ghostbuster, and as you could tell, he was having the time of his life. So that was him.
Yeah, and the fact that he's not a very social person as well, the fact that we actually got him in the shoots was actually a big deal. So he was like, oh yeah, I'm up for that. And then we were just talking it through, and he was like, you do know our other colleague's husband has a drone, and he's he does it professionally. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? So I was like, so I contacted the colleague and said, can I contact Beto regarding the drone? And she was like, yeah, it's fine. So I contacted Beto, and he was really up for it, wasn't he? So
He was really keen, and what was helpful to me was that he would throw in his own ideas, because you'll notice as I go through these shoots, I'm not a director. I don't claim to be. So when someone else comes along, I say I don't claim to be, I'm literally listed as a director. By default, I'm a director. For someone to come on board and just have that much knowledge, and he, oh my God, he really delivered. Really delivered. And I could not be happy. He made us look a lot better than we are. And I told him that at the premiere.
Like from how far would you like me to be? Like about you, like for example, if I
Yeah, something like that,
yeah.
So on September the 21st, 2024, this was actually before the script was finished, me and Ashley and our dog headed up to Derby to what would have been, what ended up being the Batcave shoot. We went without the kids because we wanted to just check the location out, see if it was worth using. Bit of a nightmare location because it looks gorgeous. We didn't know how to access the caves, so it's up this pretty steep, almost a cliff top.
it's not quite cliff. It's like a hill, isn't it? But it's got like the stream at the bottom.
One
And
false
it's
move and you're gone.
high. Yeah, it's very, very high up, and there's a lot of like foliage as well. So if you were to fall, you would have really hurt yourself.
Okay, so we are currently in Derby, and as you can see, we've got the dog out for a lovely naturistic walk. We're locating the Anchor Church caves that I'm going to hopefully use as a stand-in for the Batcave. And yeah, apologies if this is not in focus. Different camera while my other one gets repaired. Yeah, this seemed like a good idea at the time.
And having a dog who was in a harness and he kept trying to chase birds, so at one point he jumped off the cliff. I'm holding his lead and I went with him, and yeah, but when we finally got to the cave, it just looked great. and we were like, yeah, we got to use it. And then we found a much easier way.
So much. It is literally just one long pathway across the top bit, wasn't it?
That was the field that you can see me at the end, walking to the cave with the drone overhead. Just amazing scenery. And again, I think that was actually, it was before we had a script. It was before we had Beto. So I had no idea of really, I just wanted to see if we could get a decent bat cave, because the one that was already shot, which was up in Northumberland, the Riddler's Lair, that was in a completely different cave, looked insane. And Ben just did a fantastic job directing that. So we really wanted this to look cool as well. And I was so happy with that. We believe this is the cave. So you get to see our first reaction, or this is just a random rock wall. But it's looking like the cave. Beautiful scenery. And it better be worth it after the treacherous journey here. And then by the time we got there, we realised there was a much safer and shorter route. Could this be? Oh, it's the Batcave. Oh, how sick would this look? Just have like a silhouette of Batman in one of the windows. Ah! Oh. So this is Batman's cave. Not a lot of furniture. This looks sick. I think with certain camera angles we can make it look huge, like Ben did that with the last cave. So, tomorrow is the first filming day. I'm ready to stumble since I've decided to go solo with this project. I'm really nervous. It's me, my partner Ashley, and Danny Doyle reprising her role. I'm nervous for a number of reasons. Firstly, Danny hasn't actually filmed with me in years, so I feel like there's a lot of pressure only implemented by myself to kind of show my growth as a filmmaker, in contrast to the first film. And there's also that pressure that it's been 13 months since the footage with Ben was shot, which looks so good, and I've now got that pressure to film footage just as good, if not better. And this is quite a simple shoot, just 3 scenes, one with Danny and then one with me talking to myself. But it's be the first test to see if I can actually pull this off. I'm so nervous. It was on November the 30th when we actually did 3 shoots in a single day. So one of which Ashley had a childminding job locally, wasn't too far. And when I picked her up, I just couldn't help but look around and I said, this neighbourhood, like, don't you think it looks like America? It just looked like an American neighbourhood. And I was like, we need to film something here. So that was the stuff with the Riddler walking around, calling up Lenny and seeing the Joker on his phone, which, literally that was it. Just the background looked very American-like. We also filmed the alleyway scene with the Riddler, the 2 Riddlers, in which I get stopped by a random old guy and his dog.
Which is quite funny because you get stopped wherever you go, really. Like, even when we were in the one before where I had the childminding job, like, you had people just like stop, observe, laugh, because you're usually in like skin tight outfits, or a suit that's bright green.
I like the parts of the shot where I'm already in motion and you just pan across rather than following me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was kind of trying to go in and out so you can use it as like split kind of.
So do it the other way around now.
But you coming back?
That way to there.
Who's a good boy? Did you bring us a stick? Is it a big stick?
Do you need help?
Pretty impressive that no one's walked past in the entire time we've been filming.
That's when a whole school bus comes past or something.
Yeah, I've just jinxed it.
This is our casting crew. Unprofessional.
I hate filming in public. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but I absolutely hate it.
Especially when you're Batman, though, because then you just talk to them.
No, see, Batman, I don't mind being in public because I kind of switch into character. But
Yeah.
I'm the Batman. Okay, are we all ready for his house?
Your boobs going up and down.
She's boob shaming the Batman.
the Riddler and other stuff, because you could see more of my face, it's just, yeah, it's just a bit cringe. But it was also on that day that we filmed the first near-death experience on this shoot, because we filmed the burning house. Now, I knew when I wrote this that I wanted this to be practical. I wasn't going to CGI a burning house because it would just look lame. And even in certain shots, this also looks a bit cheesy and corny. But I wanted it to be practical, so I bought a doll's house. And I was like, we're just going to set this on fire. And we went up to a field, and that's the same field that we used for like my subconscious scenes and, you know, Rob confronting the Riddler. That was all filmed in the same thing. And I took all of the precautions, and apparently that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
I'm dedicated to the film, but I don't feel comfortable burning our own house down. So we're going to try it with this. And if you don't see this footage in the final film, it'll obviously look crap. 2 cameras, because we've got 1 take at this.
What is this supposed to be?
What is it supposed to be?
House.
It's supposed to be our house.
Riddler tries to kill me.
Yeah, and then he just kind of... Dad's going to be in the house while it's ablaze.
This is the not so good camera, but we're doing it just in case.
Because once it's burnt down, it's burnt down.
Yeah, because we can't really
Get another one.
zoom in. This looks really low. This is a wide. God, this camera sucks. Okay.
Concentrating face.
But it is the shot I've envisioned, and I don't see me getting any better. Can't see the sheet, can see the roof. Okay, then we just gotta do it. We are being very careful. We've got a firebreaker under there, we've got another one to throw over the top, and we've got an extinguisher. Here we go. Come on. This is embarrassing.
No, I think that's actually ran out because I've used the other lighter to light the candles for a while. Just a little. You put a lot of lighter blocks in there. What if it just goes bang? Are you sure you don't want to add to it rather than start with all of them? Because then you just get explosion. I mean, it might look pretty cool for the camera, but you don't want to take Eric to hospital today due to filming injuries. How many matches do we have?
A whole pack, but I need them for the garage shoot as well.
Do you? What's up?
I had 2.
Oh.
Why are they not lighting?
Oh, it is.
When they're recording, I look the size of Godzilla.
Just so you know, this might be a long time. Oh, I do see flames though.
So always see explosions and fire in movies. They don't show you the real side, which is the cast and crew waiting as the fire very slowly destroys the house. We've been waiting for quite some time.
That's pretty cool though.
Might be here a while.
Yeah.
For the record, I'm fully aware that this is not going to look like a real house, but it just looks so good, I don't care. Nitpickers, kiss my ass.
We can blag it's an American house.
So what we did was we set it all up with 2 cameras because we knew we could only do this in 1 take. And we handled it safely, and I did look into it. It was all, you know, completely legal. And we put the doll's house on a fire blanket. We had a second fire blanket to throw over the top, and we had a fire extinguisher. What could possibly go wrong? Turns out a lot.
Do we think about maybe?
Right, we did say
Just
if it
because
gets...
the smoke is going to attract attention. And that looks a bit unsafe now.
Way!
Want me to try opening the door?
I didn't really think things through, but I used the fire extinguisher first through the windows, but it didn't quite get it all. So the fire was continuing. I then drooped the second fire blanket over the top.
There was too many gaps. Though,
Was it?
wasn't
There were
Because
the
obviously all
windows.
the windows and even the roof. The roof was like also it was coming out of there. But although you said obviously it took a long time for the fire to start, it doesn't take a long time for the fire to spread. So at this point, even though you'd fire extinguished most of it, it then blew up again.
The fire extinguisher was quite small, and I thought it'd be enough, but clearly I needed 2. And at that point, what do? So I had heavy duty boots on, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna have to stomp it out. In doing so, I accidentally knocked the roof off the house.
Well done. Yep. That can... Oh no. We didn't equate for that.
Fire blanket.
We should have gone fire blanket first. Right, you should have gone in the very fast. That's it, and golf still.
What, did the fire extinguisher run out?
It wasn't a very good, like very big fire extinguisher. It's still on though. Will it eventually die out?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's still oxygen getting to it. That's the thing.
And
It blew up even more.
and as you can imagine, that's not good for fires.
Oh, hang on. How are you going to stamp up this?
I'm a bit nervous now.
Right, still not.
Now it's knocking out the windows.
There's one point where I'm like trying to stomp it out, and the fire actually very nearly catches my jeans.
We just need the structure to collapse.
No.
You can start walking home, dude, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'm going.
So the good news is it's not spreading anywhere.
It was very, very dangerous, but I thought at the time we handled it as safely as we could. But at this point, our son Eric was there because he wanted to see the fire, and he panicked. We were kind of panicking, but trying to remain calm. Like, what do we do? So Ashley's like, run home and get some water. Because again, this was like a 10-minute walk from our house. And I was like, you want us to leave you alone with this? She's like, yeah, it's fine.
Run home and get some water? No, I think that will.
You want me to leave you?
Oh my god, David, stop kicking it, please.
I mean, I can run home and get a big bottle of water, and then I'm leaving you here. I'll be as quick as I can.
Fair play to you, because looking back at the footage, which recorded all of this, at one point there's sirens.
Yeah.
I would have had a panic attack.
I did have a panic attack. I was like, oh my God, what do I say? Do I like trying to think of all the excuses in my head, like, oh yeah, it's my friend's stupid like idea, but I'm still here with the fire and I'm the only one here. So I'm like, oh my God, like, is it going to affect my job?
I sprinted home. Bear in mind that this was like the first of the 3 shoots, so I hadn't eaten. So I sprinted and I started to get lightheaded, and I needed to sit down. So I got 2 litres bottle of water and passed it to my son. I was like, please just run this back to your mum. I'm going to be there as quick as I can.
And fair play to him, he did run it. He ran it.
So he was at home when you left him?
Yeah, he said he was feeling lightheaded, like he's about to collapse.
So, okay.
Yeah, he sent me.
He was on his way back. He didn't say he was going to come back.
And then looking at the footage again, Ashley was like, is Rob not coming back? I was trying.
Oh, he's coming, I see him.
Oh, you see him? Okay, thank you for that.
But I didn't know, because I think either you didn't take your phone. I think I had both phones at this point, or I didn't have my phone. I don't know. I think you didn't have your phone and you left it there. So in my head, I was like, okay, it sent our son back, but he's not coming. So like, is he planning on staying at home?
No, I would not do that.
know.
By the time I got back, the fire was out. So it went out, although you were pouring drinks on it anyway, but...
Yeah, the water helped, because by that point, most of it had been engulfed, so it was pretty much ash. So it was only like the final bits. So obviously, yeah, used the water to douse the rest of it, which wasn't a lot left, if I'm honest.
There were no reports of a fire. The fire department did not show up.
We took the remains with us.
We got
didn't
rid
litter.
of all of the charred remains. It was all done safely, but it was very, very stressful. And I'm so sorry I put you through that. But the shots looked cool.
Yeah, but then there was a moment as well where you were going through, this is at the end, you're going through like the film and the footage and things, and you're like, we might not even use it. And I was like, I swear, you're going to use it. I don't care.
Yeah,
you're using it.
So basically, in the original shot, you can clearly see the leaves through the lower windows. So I was like, well, great. What do I do there? And I was trying to find a way to cover it up, because you can clearly see that it's a doll's house. So eventually what I had to do was I just basically superimposed the top windows onto the lower ones as well. So if you now look at the film, it's the top windows twice. It was the only way I could get around it, but it's only briefly in the opening.
Oh, so you remember me. I have to say I am touched. I was worried that you'd forget. Let's just...
I have a tendency to just kind of wing it. And when it's a movie where I'm 95% of the cast, that's okay. Because I can direct myself and you, and it's not too big an issue. It's when it involves a lot of other people that it becomes a problem. So I wing it because all of the ideas are up here, and I struggle to kind of transfer that into action sometimes.
Okay, I'll just go for it, and I'll try to do as long a take as possible. So don't do it too quickly, like slowly.
Just like start. Is it like a slow transition? Is in the when he throws a match, the fire's only going to just start then, isn't it?
He's going to throw the match, and then it'll cut to the model burning, and then it'll cut back and forth.
Because technically, at the start of a fire, you're not going to get much flickering. It's just going to be.
Yeah, it's fine. Yes.
Like a slow flicker.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we might need a couple of takes for me to do that.
Yeah. I'm just going to.
Just keep going.
I'm going to do as long a take as possible. So do different speeds.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, because the longer I can, again, act, I can try to get the best take.
Fair enough. Have it your way. I really hope that looked cool. Because the time...
It looked like you were about to flick it at me. I was like...
This scene with Robin Riddler was... To me, when I wrote it, it was the most important scene. Because I wasn't actually sure at the time, was it going to be after the credits? And then I ended up incorporating it in the middle, which I think worked really well. But it was, it sets up the whole story. And I had a very specific visual idea for the lighting. So with a lot of the scenes I'm winging it, this one had a very specific angle that I wanted to take. And it was shot inside our garage. And if you look at the original footage, it's very different. I had to do a lot in post, but we did manage to do stuff pre-production. I knew that, I've got these mobile lights and we'll do that and dim them as much as possible. I wanted to do split screens and just mask out all of the shit in the background. to have Riddler and Rob. You know, there's a lot of split screens in this film, and when it's a dark abyss of a garage, you can get away with a lot more. And then we got to the flames, the fire, and you came up with...
We had to get creative, didn't we? So I, obviously working in a school, have access to a lot of creative equipment. So we went with orange and red cellophane, didn't we? And then I tried to do it in front of the lighting.
So this is some behind the scenes because I'm just messing around with some of the lighting. This is going to be the scene where I'm kidnapped by the Riddler. The date is December the 8th, 2024. So this is just using my phone torch, but I'm trying to experiment with a few things. This already looks pretty sick, to be fair. But I'm going to mess around with lighting because I've got my own portable light here that I'm hoping will create the illusion of the fire in the background. So we're gonna have fun with this. Let me turn this off. This is my torch off, and then with my light on, it's going to blind me originally. Okay, I can dim it. Okay, and then the rest of that will look pretty good in post, because I know I have to do a lot of not post production with the lighting, just so it is just my face. You don't actually see the wall or anything, bare minimal of my body. But I'm gonna try these settings. Oh, and then there should be one more. And that's a bit of a mix, but I like that. And then if I flicker it, is that going to create an illusion of a fire? So if I do that. A little bit. We're going to have some fun with it. My partner's on her way back and we're going to mess around with this a little bit. We've got some cellophane, and I think even just... So this is the light as it is now. That changes a lot. Can you... Just that, literally putting that over a light. And then I'm going to see what happens when my partner gets back.
So we needed to create the effect of the flickering light. So literally, thankfully there was no dialogue, otherwise I could have dubbed it, but Ashley with the cellophane over the light, and she's just rustling it and then turning the light around, like, which works. And then I just did some CGI fire on the right hand side, and it looks insane. And then just add the special effects, sorry, the sound effects.
Attempting to get the lighting right. Try that again.
Does this make a difference?
No, because it's going orange, white, orange, white.
Oh, okay.
But if you put it over it,
Yeah.
is that... No, that's not.
Fine, then crinkle it, you thinking like it'll...
Yeah,
No.
if you... Would this work? I've got an idea,
Don't take that as your own idea if you're going to wobble
No,
it.
no, it's not,
That's me.
I'm thinking like that, because then it's coming off me.
Okay, yeah.
So like, if you flip this so you can see that, so you can like direct it yourself.
And you're saying it doesn't matter about the noise?
Audio's irrelevant for that bit, because it's just going to be a dramatic close-up of me attempting
so if I
to...
just...
Do you think that looks like it flickering? Because I can't see it.
I think so, but should we give it a go and then you can...
Right.
Because you can't really tell.
Try that again, please.
So if I did...
Maybe not as extreme, so I'd say just slightly turn it so... Yes. That's the one.
The lighting on your face actually was really good as well.
Yeah, so I did a lot of post-production lighting, and I think that was the scene. Because I was editing, throughout the year, I was editing everything as I went. And we'll get to the big battle stuff, but I wanted to get to that stage, and the whole movie was basically done up until that point because I was editing as I went. And I think this scene, when I came out with that lighting, I was like, that was the first time I thought, I can do this. This isn't half bad, you know? So I was really, really proud of that scene. It was then, January the 5th, 2025, we filmed the tracking shot of the summer house.
Oh, God.
And, of course, we had sat down and penciled, well, I say we, Ashley had sat down and penciled all of these dates in for the next 9 or 10 months. And, of course, on this particular day, it decides to snow. No other day will it snow, But on this day that we're filming,
Snow would disappear by the
the
next day as
garden,
well.
And then it snows. It snows. It snows. God just really doesn't want this movie to come out.
so there's just one shot of the movie where there's snow. And Ashley was like, should we reschedule? No, it's fine. But this was another very particular shot I had in which I'm having my mental breakdown in my office and the camera was padding back. So we put it on a dolly over some laminate flooring. And we tried it numerous times.
Numerous times.
And you still weren't happy with the final.
No, because it's too shaky. I'm not a professional camera woman at all. So this was a new venture for me. So yeah, when you had like a specific way you wanted it shot and I wanted to make that happen for you. So we must have shot it like, I want to say over
20 times.
Yeah, over 20 times. Because every time it shook too much, I'm like, no, start again. So yeah, but you can tell it's kind of like shaky. So I'm like.
And just to give an idea of just how time consuming it is, because obviously I had to sit in the summer house. Ashley then did the take. I would then have to come out of the summer house. I would watch over every single take.
Yeah, because I want to make sure it's perfect.
And then eventually I was like, oh no, this is the one. I was happy with it. I also did experiments. So that picture is me, my ex-wife and my son. And I really wanted a transition to end the credits where I wanted like the picture frame to crack. So I had one broken and one not broken. And I attempted to just have the picture frame like move, then go, and that would end the credits. Couldn't quite get the transition. So I had to cut that. But no, I was happy with that shot. Just very time consuming.
Don't worry about zooming in or out, because I'll zoom in perfectly.
Okay.
So don't touch that. It is just a case of...
So I don't have to zoom in or out at all?
No. So all you do is... pull the camera. Yeah, you're going to have to hold the actual camera. 2-handed job. You can go slow, because basically just picture any movie that you've seen ever. That is a slow shot. And then, I don't know if you can see the screen.
Yeah, I can just about see the screen.
Alright, so you've got to keep the camera holding. So as you pan back, the camera is going to move. So you need to make it still focused on me, if that makes sense. The camera is still, the dolly's hitting the bloody table though. But you'll pull back and then the camera's going to turn itself off.
Because why not?
And then basically you slowly ease over and then the picture frame is revealed. And this is because the camera got knocked. So yeah, I've left it how it is. And then basically, ideally for the transition, once you've got the shot, we'll then just do something like...
So leave the camera where it is, and then...
So that hand isn't in the shot, we do something like that, then we've replaced them.
So how would you do that without the hand being in the shot?
Because I positioned it, I think, yeah, the bottom of the frame isn't in the shot.
It's also the fact that it wasn't just a case of straight backwards. You had to go round a table,
yes,
then back into the table so that you could see like the frame coming into frame, as in the picture frame coming into frame. And so, but I was obviously traveling backwards. So not only did I have to keep the camera steady, I then had to make sure that, because it was on wheels, that it went round the table. So several of the takes, it hit the table, and I was like, oh, well, that's not going to be the take, is it? I have to start again. So it was a case of it had to go round, but obviously on a trolley, that's not very easy.
Dolly, not a trolley.
So tomorrow is what I consider the first... Sorry, my dog's on my lap. The first big shoot of the movie, because it's the first one with other actors other than Danny and myself, and Eric, so I guess it's not. It's the first big shoot with multiple actors in one location. And it almost didn't happen. I ordered everything ahead of time, and then the Hit Girl costume didn't look like it was going to get here in time. Looked like it was going to have to reschedule. And it literally arrived about an hour and a half ago. Just 14 hours or so before we're due to start shooting. It's been a stressful 24 hours. I'm nervous but excited. I'm just sorting dinner. Then I've got to shave my face and my head. go over the script, annotate any last minute adjustments, get everything ready, load the car, and then we're leaving tomorrow at 6 in the morning. Gonna go get Luke. Oh, it's gonna be good. I get really nervous with these on location shoots, and like I say, it's even more because others are involved, and I don't want to let anyone down. One of my subscribers might be actually coming to this shoot, Josh. If you're seeing this part, then he showed up. It was a last minute idea. He was going to just enjoy behind the scenes, and then we kind of came up with this idea of him playing an extra Batman just to die instantly with Luke. I get all of this anxiety. And something's going to go wrong. A lot's riding on this.
February the 1st. Now, this was the first shoot I was really nervous at because, like I say, when it's just us, I'm a bit nervous doing serious acting in front of other people, but when it's just us, it's fine. But when it involves other actors, mate, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll openly tell you. And I will say, when making this movie, I originally didn't want it to be addressed as a YouTube movie, even though it obviously is. I decided to embrace it, and there's a bunch of other content creators who have made movies that, in my opinion, have taken themselves way too seriously, and they think that they're Brad Pitt. And I wanted to make it categorically clear, we know this is dumb. We know we're not actors, we know we're not directors, it's just a bit of fun. And that's why the majority of the movie is roasting YouTube and roasting me and making fun of everything that we do. I'm also not great with people. When you insert more people and more actors, that's where I crumble. Because I'm just not very good at directing people. Because like I said, I have all of these ideas, I struggle to articulate them externally. And this was the first shoot that really involved other actors, not just me or my kids. You know, I had Danny for that one shoot, but it was one shoot, just a conversation shot. This was the Derby shoot with the Batcave, which was numerous scenes. And it involved me, both kids, Luke, and Josh. So this was actually the first time that I had met Josh in person. He has been a subscriber of mine for ages, and I just said, we're filming in Derby if you wanted to come along. And he was more than willing. He drove to Derby, bless him, and I brought an extra costume just in case. So Josh wasn't actually supposed to be in this film originally, and yeah, I gave him the cameo as the extra Batman, and he absolutely nailed it. He was throwing in ideas. He was having a good laugh with everyone. He actually he was a stand-in as well for one of the big group shots where he's playing Kick-Ass, and you can see because that Kick-Ass mysteriously has hair. But it was great because he was also so helpful carrying all of the equipment, because it's a decent walk from the car to that cave. It's probably a good 15-minute walk.
I've got the kids as well.
The actual shoot at that point was the most draining.
Yeah.
So it was like a 2-hour drive with kids. We picked up Luke. It was in February, so it's worth noting that it was a lot muddier and more slippery than the September visit that we did.
The one in September was obviously quite dry, so it's dried out, so it was easy to get to if you went the correct way. So I was like all prepared for it to be fine to get there, but it was literally like sludge. And luckily the kids did really well with that, to be fair. Like Alice was brilliant considering, but I'm not great with balance, so that was my worst nightmare. So yeah, it took me longer than you guys to get there.
I felt bad because obviously when Luke and Josh fall to their deaths, we laid towels down, but it was really a slippery, muddy mess. It wasn't actually that cold considering it was February. I mean, I was wearing like 4 layers as Batman, but
I think I still had my coat, but it wasn't like Alice didn't complain that it was cold, and she always complains that it's cold. So
I think this
has like out-trumped the first shooting schedule with Ben as the most exhausting shoot so far. I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to be. It's been a hectic month, January. A lot of stuff's been going on, and this is especially exhausting because I'm now directing it myself, so having to memorize a script, which I didn't have time to do, whilst making sure I had everything for the shoot, whilst directing and planning out the shots, it was so exhausting, plus the driving to the location and back. There was a part halfway through that I was about to just can half of the shoot and be like, no, I can't. And it was my amazing fiance who kind of who pushed me to go through and finish it.
The draining thing for me is two things. One is the costume changes, because I was Batman for most of it, but I was also Rob and Kick-Ass. And we also shot some extra stuff of the Riddler while we were there. So the stuff with Riddler on his laptop and Lenny, that was shot in that cave. Yeah, it was just draining doing all of the costume changes. I think that the last shot we did that day was me as Rob sat down in the white hoodie, and I'm not 100% happy with the performance in that scene, because you can tell, I don't know, the dialogue seemed rushed, as in how I was delivering it, because I think I was just I was exhausted. We were there, must have been a good 5 or 6 hours.
The scenes aren't done chronologically either, so it was literally a case of, right, we've got this one from this part of the film, this one from this part of the film, so obviously none of us really knew where it slotted in, because it was all in your head at that point.
That's another thing.
So it was like quite draining having to do so many shots one after the other, but we can't see where it links together.
Yeah, so everyone was just confused, and they put a lot of trust in me, because obviously I knew how the scenes connected, and by the time it got to the premiere, everyone was like,
I've been sent here. I've been told that you can help me.
You saved the world.
We saved the world. Let's get you to school.
You what? We saved the world and I still have to go to school.
Try the last words. I'm not...
Another issue to me is it's very draining to act and direct at the same time. And there was no plan going into it. I tried to have a plan, but I was so focused on the performance and going over the script with the kids and learning lines that I just didn't have time. So we got there, and I just figured out how to direct when we got there. So I'll just set up this shot, we'll just do this. And we'll do it one line at a time, you know, and we managed to get through it, but it was just so exhausting. It was great to have Luke back. The decision to kill him off was just because we thought we only had him for a day. So I was like, oh, Luke, we'll kill you off, is that right? We had a few ideas, so I'm kind of gutted we didn't go for one, because at one point, the first idea was he was going to randomly get hit by a car. And then the second one, which I kind of hoped I went with, was he was going to, the big field that you see me crossing at the end, Luke was going to basically trip and just keep rolling down the hill. Like, we'd film it straight, and then we'd just tilt the camera, but everyone, like Batman and Daredevil and everyone, were just going to be staring at him falling down this hill while Luke's going, all the way. It would have been so funny. And then I think I just couldn't bear to have Luke just roll around in mud, so we decided to go with the neck snap. Eric is also, so my son, he was 14 at this point, and he was really interested because he's got my same stupid humour. So especially when it came to the big battle, he was throwing in ridiculous ideas. And originally he was supposed to be Red Mist, because obviously you got Kick-Ass, you got Hit Girl. He was supposed to be Red Mist, which one is a bit contradictory because Jimmy's playing the motherfucker. Red Mist and the motherfucker are technically the same person. But I'm like, does any of this movie make sense? But I struggled to find a decent Red Mist costume. So yeah, me and Sam was pitching loads of superheroes to me, to who the stand-in could be. And it was just anyone, really. It was like Green Lantern, Arrow, literally just throwing loads. And then he said Daredevil. And then I was like, oh, the only thing I really know about Daredevil is, I mean, I've seen the Ben Affleck film, but like, all I really remember is that he's blind. And then I think Sam said as a joke, something about we should just have him bumping into walls and shit. And that kind of evolved with us just making the same joke over and over, and Eric loved it. We had so much fun coming up with just blind jokes, but Eric really went for it. He was having the time of his life.
It actually looked real as well. So the fact that I actually thought that he was falling over consistently during the whole shoot, so it was quite believable.
Surprisingly, of all of the injuries, Eric had none.
Exactly. I was like, oh my God, like, is that muddy down there? But also it was quite hard on you because obviously I had to kind of entertain our daughter because she hasn't got exactly like the biggest attention span, but also because of how muddy it was, you had to set up the camera quite a bit if it was like down in the muddier bits, so you were doing the camera work and the directing and like changing, so I didn't really help much with the camera work on that one.
So yeah, all of the stuff outside of the cave was shot by me. Josh was again, I can't praise him enough. He was the mic operator, but sometimes he would forget that he's holding. So this is the mic that I'm wearing now. But people forget, if you're holding the mic, you are holding the mic.
It's like any breathing or any moving.
There's one take where like Josh is holding it, but he's got his thumb over the mic.
I don't know about this, dude.
Oh God, I've done that as well.
Thankfully, we watched it over and was like, Josh! And then there's a scene where Ashley's holding the script, and I think as we're still saying the line, she's like,
But why now? I mean, why wait 10 years?
It's also worth noting that I'm ADHD as well, so I'm swaying, I'm playing with the script, I'm doing other things, and then you're like, it's literally all caught on the microphone, babe, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
We had to dub it, but it's fine. It got done. It looked great.
I am going back in a week with my drone guy to get some drone shots, but that's going to be a very less hectic shoot. It won't take very long, and it's just me, him, and my son Eric, who's playing Shazam and Daredevil. But Luke, playing Adam West, was there for this shoot. Both my kids, the kids did a lot better than I thought I would, considering Luke absolutely smashed it, and some of the stuff that was required, he was just a massive trooper. Josh came as well, who was originally supposed to be in the first movie. He wasn't planned to be in the film. We just had this last minute idea like the day before and threw it in. And I'm just very, very grateful for the people around me that believe in my silly little vision. And, you know, even though I'm not prepared, I'm not very good at organisation or preparation, these people are still coming together and helping me put together this thing that they don't even know the full context of, and they just trust me, and it's incredible.
I went back to this shoot, actually, this location, a week later, and that was just me, Eric, and Beto, because we needed to get the drone stuff done. And yeah, the very first drone shot was me crossing the field, which looks insane. Literally, he showed me the first one. I was like, oh my God.
That does actually look really good.
It was the first sign of, this is a real movie. Almost. It's almost a real movie, guys. We're not Shawshank. But he did, I think there was 3 takes of me crossing the field, and I went with the first one. But there's another one where he flies the drone directly at my face. And do you know how hard it is? I mean, I'm autistic, so I can avoid eye contact at the best of times. But the camera's heading towards me, and that's fine. I can look around, not look. But then it keeps going straight for my face, and I'm like, can't flinch. And I think I do flinch. I haven't looked back at the footage. I'm sure I slightly flinch because it narrowly goes over my head. So I'm putting a lot of trust in this man.
Well, not only that, obviously drones aren't silent, so you've got like this motor going towards your face. Like,
yeah.
It's hard to put into words. Like, I mean, it's going to be weird if the movie comes out and they think it completely sucks. But for them to kind of go through with this and commit and go to these, you know, random locations across the country, go on these long drives through sometimes treacherous locations, and for a movie that no one's being paid for a movie that is purely for the passion. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I can't thank these people enough, and I do my best to always relay that gratification. It's, you know, a lot of the time when doing what I do, I very often doubt my own abilities, but for these people to consistently work with me and agree to do these things, it kind of restores that faith. Just hope I don't let them down. You know what, we're only 2 months into this year and just everything's going wrong. YouTube's making less money. I need to get an accountant to do our filing. And we're running low on money, so if I were to do that today, I'd have £2 left. £2. And then today, I've had to take my PC off to be repaired because it's just not working no matter what I've tried. And I don't know how much that's going to cost, but it's going to be beyond the money that I have. And I don't know how I'm going to get this film made. I might have to close the business at this rate. I don't know. So, I'm actually very hungover today. We're attempting to shoot the field scenes in a fantasy sequence or psychological sequence. I'm just taking the dog up to the field to see how it's looking mud-wise. And I'm going to just treat today as if we are still filming, see if I can power through, because I feel awful. And I know what you're thinking, it's very unprofessional to get drunk the day before filming. But it's just me, so that's fine. And it wasn't set in stone, it's just we had a bit of time, so we thought maybe we can film and we'll see how we go. I'm a workaholic, so I might be able to power through this.
Over the next few weeks after that, we filmed a bunch of reshoots, so it gave me time to recover from the social aspect of filming with other people. But it was only going to get worse. It was on February the 23rd, 2025, when we headed up to the field, and I think we had to film this a couple of, not on 2 separate shoots, because the weather just was not cooperating. And you can tell, if you look at the raw footage, you'll see why we had to dub it. It is so windy up there. It's at the top of the field near some farms, and the wind is ridiculous to the point you've got to hold the camera as steady as possible. I mean, you can see it on my clothes flying all over the place. And I think because we shot it separately, like one day in February, it looks one kind of weather. And then I can't even remember when we went back there to shoot, because I think it started raining. So we had to reshoot another day, and then all of a sudden it's sunny. Okay, go this way, keep going. I mean, since we're on the topic, this is when, this wasn't the first injury at the time, it was probably the second, or no, if you count the fire, the third, where my son punched me in the nose.
Very hard.
Action.
Sorry.
And this was after another shoot that we're going to go over, so I'm starting to think he did this on purpose. But I genuinely thought he had broken my nose, because, no exaggeration, my nose was in pain for 3 or 4 weeks. I thought he had done some serious damage, and you can hear the crunch. The other injuries don't really bother me watching it over. That one, the sound is awful. Because of the camera angle, he didn't have to go that close, and the punch was literally the second one thrown. Looked great though. We then had nearly a month off, and this was a shoot that you were not at. The second near-death experience.
So, in just a few days, me, Dave, and Beto, who's operating the drone, are driving up to Scotland to film all of the scenes at Mount MacGuffin. I'm nervous, and it's good that a lot of it will get shot, but it's going to be an excruciating day because I'm driving an hour to pick up Dave, and then we've got a 6-hour drive after that to get to Scotland. So I'm driving for 7 hours, and then we're climbing the mountain that same day, and then we're staying overnight, and then we're going to drive home the next day. So this is definitely going to be the most physically demanding of all of the shoots that we've done so far, and probably the entire production. It's going to be hell. This arrived today. This is the Talisman of Convenience, which I thought came painted as described, but nope. So I'm going to hopefully get this decorated before we shoot, because this doesn't look very ominous, but we'll see what happens. It's 2:21 in the morning. I'm about to go pick up Beto, who is the drone operator, and then I'm going to go pick up my friend Dave in Birmingham, and then I'm driving up to Scotland to Aviemore, and today is all of the scenes at Mount MacGuffin, and as you can tell, the dog just doesn't want me to leave. I'm here for the night. This is going to be a long day. In total, it will be about 7 hours driving, and then the mountains about 2 hours up, 2 hours down. This is going to be the most physically demanding shoot of the entire production. This is going to kill me. I've also been sick the past couple of days, as you can tell, but my voice is very strained. So, worst case scenario, we'll film it and dub the audio, but I think I'll be okay. Let's do this.
This shoot was awful, and I'm going to be completely and brutally honest with what went down that day. I had previously climbed the mountain, or attempted to climb the mountain Ben Macdui in Scotland for a Seeking Answers episode. Turned out I climbed the wrong mountain. So I had this idea of climbing it again and filming it both for Seeking Answers and for the movie, and that's how I came up with this stupid Mount MacGuffin plot, because I'm a comedic genius. And that's kind of, I ended up dropping the Seeking Answers aspect. I was like, let's just do this. Went to Beto with the idea, can we get some drone footage of me climbing the mountain? And he was like, yeah, definitely. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, you do realise it's like a 7 or 8 hour drive? And he goes, yeah, it's fine. I did all the driving. I think it's about, it might even be an 8 or 9 hour drive. We left in the early hours, and we literally drove straight to the mountain. We didn't go to our hotel. We went straight to the mountain and filmed. And just to give you an idea of how high up, because it's a triage of mountains. It's a mountain range of 3 peaks, and that's how I ended up climbing the wrong one the first time. But the moment we got out of the car, I filmed a video, and you can hear the wind.
Can you hear a word I'm saying? This is my fault. Woo! I think we're going to have to do a lot of dubbing.
That's at the car park. Now, bear in mind that I'm dressed as Kick-Ass.
Very thin material.
Very thin material. I'm wearing boots, I'm wearing a coat.
I don't even know if I'm just going to release these as shorts, but I'm currently dressed like a moron climbing a mountain in Scotland. How are you guys spending your weekend?
So we start climbing, and we get to like some ski slopes, so we're struggling a bit, and basically we needed to get to, you know, there were filler shots of me struggling to climb, which wasn't acting, by the way. I was a wreck. I've just driven 7 or 8 hours. Whoever thought drive 8 hours and then climb a mountain in the same day is a genius. We climb, we get to these ski slopes, and we needed an area for me to grab the talisman. So we needed some kind of flat peak. So we just kept climbing. And things were about to get worse. As we're struggling, I look to my right and it looks like the peak is there, but it's not on the trail. It's over rocks and grass. And I look at Dave and he's like, no. And I say, I'll see you at the top. And I go off course. And I had no fear at this point. I had a huge adrenaline boost. I'm jumping over rocks. The wind is blowing me all over the place, which normally I like. I look back and Dave's having a panic attack because he is fully convinced that he's about to watch me die and he's going to have to tell you.
She actually said that to me as well. He was like, oh my gosh, like I was literally preparing myself to message you to say I'm so sorry, but he didn't make it.
And I'm climbing and my adrenaline starts to die down. And then I look back and I'm like, I should probably go back. It was very, very stupid, but it still somehow gets wet. So I go back and I rejoin Dave and Beto at the trail. And I'm like, okay, I'm really sorry. Let's carry on. Then, because I was operating the camera to get some light establishing shots, which somehow got deleted, one of my gloves flies out of my pocket and down the side of the mountain. Now, I need that for continuity. So I fully risked my life for a glove as Dave is again hyperventilating because I'm like, I just need my glove. And he's like, it's a fucking glove. And I'm like, no, it's fine. And I'm scaling down the side of it just to try to get a glove. Eventually I have to let it go. Beto, who's about 10 years older than me, also wants to go and get it. So Dave is like, am I the only one here who's fucking sensible? Fuck your movie, I want to live. And we're like, okay, fine, we'll get rid of the glove. I'm now one glove down, so I'm just walking around with my hand in my pocket to try to keep warm. I'm freezing my nuts off, and it still somehow gets worse. We get to the top of this slope. At this point, we are about 4,000 feet up. And I say, right, let's just use this clearing. Because Dave is begging me at this point. He's like, please, let's just stop. And then Beto goes, but Rob, look. And it looks like the
top's over there.
It looks like the peak is very close. And I look at Beto, and he's a bad influence because I look at Beto and I smirk and I'm like, you want to keep going? And he goes, I just think if we go home now, we'll regret it. Look how close we are. And I'm like, so luckily we were at, it was like one of the highest cafes in the UK. There was a cafe there and I said to Dave, you go there. Me and Beto are going. And we continue climbing. We're at a 45-degree angle. We're going up this really, really steep slope. And I think my body enters shock.
And exhaustion.
Because of the cold, we're probably about 4,300 feet up. And trying to control anything, like me getting the talisman out my backpack, it was flopping all over, which is why the final shot of me is obviously a green screen, because I couldn't hold it. It was just flapping everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm there trying to be patient, standing on a rock at a 45-degree angle with wind ridiculously strong blowing us all over the place. We can't even hear each other. So we're like shouting, trying to direct each other. Beto's getting the camera. And what basically happened was he did a shot of me climbing the slope and seeing the talisman. He filmed a shot of me grabbing the talisman from the air. He then did a shot of the background for the green screen. And he did a shot of me holding the talisman. And he did a shot of me jumping up and destroying the talisman on a rock, like a superhero. That was originally the ending. And we shot that last shot of me destroying it. And he goes, oh, it didn't record. I thought he was joking, so I called him an asshole. And he goes, no, I'm serious. So we shot it again. And they were like, okay, we need to go. Because I couldn't stop. On our way down, that's when the fear hit, because I couldn't walk properly. My legs were shaking. I felt like jelly. Like it was something I've never really experienced. And when we got back to the cafe, my speech was slurred. I couldn't sit. I was shaking. Dave actually told me he thought I was having a heart attack. Bear in mind that this cafe also had like a train that goes down. And this was literally the last one that day, because this was about 5 p.m. by this point. So we took the train down. They had to go to the toilet. I couldn't, because I was still dressed as Kick-Ass. At one point, we actually stopped some hikers, and I'm dressed as Kick-Ass, and one guy just looks at me like, and just doesn't say anything. But as they're going to the toilet, I film a little video.
So, I've just done MacGuffin. Guys are just urinating. I nearly passed out, I nearly collapsed. I actually, at this point, kind of regret I should have done what I did. I was very reckless with certain things. Anything to get the shots, I suppose. But I nearly collapsed. I felt very dizzy, I still do. I don't even know. Never again. I don't think I even want to come to Scotland again, but I have to for another shoot. Just not this place. This was very dangerous and stupid. And I genuinely could have died multiple times. Hopefully it was worth it.
And I messaged Ashley and I basically just said, I'm really sorry. I've done some stupid stuff today. And I do think I nearly died because I looked up the slurred speech. It's like early signs of hypothermia. It was very, very stupid to do. And at one point I said to Dave, we've got to go back tomorrow to get my glove. And his face kind of dropped because he thought I was serious.
So back now from the Mount MacGuffin shoot. If I'm honest with you guys, I know I'm going to be dramatic. I don't think I'm going to be the same again after that. You know, we were climbing the mountain. We committed and planned to climb a mountain. The weather got quite treacherous as we climbed up there. There were times I attempted to take shortcuts and stupidly was, you know, staggering and jumping over rocks, and it was incredibly stupid and dangerous. There was I lost part of the costume and was even at one point scaling the mountain to try to get to it. As we got to the top, naturally the weather got worse and worse. We probably went a lot higher than we should have just to get the epic shot. Afterwards, I was shaking. I was hyperventilating. A friend that came with us was actually convinced that I was having a heart attack. All my body, I think my body went into fight or flight mode, if I'm honest. And right now, I feel I'm in a lot of pain. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be okay for a while.
I mean, what were your thoughts when you got that message?
Well, I don't think I really took into consideration how dangerous it would be, if that makes sense. So I don't think I fully understood the extremity at the time. Obviously I was still at home working, looking after kids, etc. So I think I was just distracted, if I'm honest. But
oh, we just try to die again.
Yeah. But it is something you would do. So
but yeah, we ate. I barely ate, slept, and then the next morning we drove home, and it was during the 8-hour drive home. As we're driving, he starts going through the footage, and it turns out he lost a bunch, and we don't know why. Genuinely, we don't know. There were establishing shots that were gone. A lot of the footage at the top was gone. So he had the background shot for the green screen, and he had me holding the talisman, but he didn't have me approaching it, he didn't have me grabbing the talisman, and he didn't have me destroying it, which obviously completely killed my mood. I was like, I just nearly died.
And half the shots that you needed for your movie, you didn't have.
Yeah, it just completely killed my mood. And me and Beto even discussed going back, getting the train straight to the top, and just filming that.
Some of the footage got lost. This is the footage for Mount MacGuffin. We're not quite sure what happened with the camera. So, I've got two options. If I can get the money together to get the fuel, I would happily go back and just get there's a train that takes you to the top of the mountain. I'll do that. Just film those bits and come back. However, I am one for improvisation, and depending on what happens with the film, at the time of recording this, I've decided to make it a joke, you know, because getting the talisman and destroying it is already a trope. So
we could potentially use this to our advantage and mock another cliche and have me instead not destroy it, take my time with it, and then accidentally break it. At the time of recording this, I don't know exactly how I'm going to pull that off, but we'll see.
And as we're driving, I'm trying to think of a way around it. And that's when I came up with the idea of, you know, the point of the movie was I wanted to make fun of as many tropes and stereotypes and cliches as possible. Me climbing a mountain to get this artifact and destroying it to save the world is, in of itself, its own trope. So I said, why if we just ruin that? What if I go to destroy it, but then I don't? And I had a few ridiculous ideas, like ADHD. I get it, but then I forget. It stays under my bed for like 6 months. But because the battle was going on at the same time, that wouldn't have really worked. And that's when it kind of evolved into the... So I think I saved it. I was actually... So that wasn't the original plan. I was going to just destroy it. But yeah, stuff happens. April, we didn't actually shoot anything. Because we did have some shoots, but we had to push them back. And then it got to, in my opinion, the most... Was it the most? Yeah, I'd say the most draining shoot of the entire production. And that was revisiting Scotland. And I never want to go back to that country.
Do you think? Because I thought the most draining one would be the July shoot.
Well, for you, yeah. We'll go over that in a minute.
Is that how a man acts?
Wow.
The Dark Knight stumbled. So, and then you need to get back into it. So, as I'm pushing you, you're backing up. So, punch, 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 without smiling, punch. And basically, until you get to the back of this, and then when you get to the back of that, I'll throw another punch. You lean back up. Obviously, don't make sounds, but you lean back. Okay, we'll try that.
The original idea for that scene with Batman and Riddler was that they were going to... There's going to be an abandoned village. Like there's loads of abandoned villages in the UK, so we're going to get some drone shots of this just completely isolated village. And then my friend had pitched St. Peter's Seminary in Scotland, this huge abandoned structure, and it just looked insane.
He did look amazing.
We did toy with the idea of Beto coming with us for some drone shots, but he couldn't make it. And to be fair, it would have been an even longer day. Because at this point, we weren't staying in a hotel, and yeah, we'll go over that.
This is all in one day.
We'll go over that in a sec. But we also shot the opening fight scenes with Batman and Riddler. So considering how long this day was, a lot of those fight scenes are just such a small section of the movie in just a couple of minutes. The reason it was such a long day is because it was, again, a 7 or 8 hour drive. So we left at probably 1 or 2 in the morning. Thankfully on this one, there's 2 drivers. The one with Dave and Beto, I drove both ways the entire way because I was the only one insured in the car. This time we both could take turns. So even if I drove 4 hours straight, we don't even have to stop technically. We could just swap over and then actually drive the other 4 hours kind of thing. We drove for about 8 hours. Then it was probably about a 15, maybe 20-minute walk with a bunch of costumes to the actual location. I got very, very nervous because there's a lot of signs. It's not trespassing, but it's enter at your own risk because technically the structure isn't sound, it's not safe. But turns out a lot of people go there. So I don't even know what...
Safe enough. It wasn't like it was falling apart.
Basically, our plan was, the reason we left so early is because we wanted to get there for sunrise. So we had as much time there as possible. So I think we probably got there at like 8, maybe 8 or 9. And started filming.
Those times. Because I think we we stopped to swap over, didn't we? So it was like 8-ish.
In a similar thing, didn't prepare things ahead of time. So we'll wing it there. Choreography, as you can see in the final film, not my forte. So we had to improvise a lot. It's weird that my son is tall enough to be my body double. But... another injury where he whacked my head into a wall.
Oh, God, yeah.
In fact, there were 3 injuries on this shoot. So he whacked my head into a wall. That one makes a lot of people cringe because you hear it.
Oh, yeah.
I actually injured you.
Yeah, he actually did headbutt.
I'm sorry. No, sorry. Sorry,
It was concrete brick. Concrete brick? It's brick.
That one was my bad, because I was meant to like kick the wall and stop myself. So when my head felt concrete, it completely caught me off guard. It took me a second to realise what had happened. All in the bloopers.
And I thought you were acting at the time as well, and I think so did Eric. So like it took a minute for you to actually respond to what had just happened.
I was
So we were
dazed.
there. So I was laughing at you. I was literally laughing at you.
But when I look up, because Ashley's up by the camera, so she's up on like this perched ledge, and she's just like, and she's like, it looks great on camera. And then not long after, Riddler had to like hit me in the gut. So of course Eric hit me in the nuts.
Yes, that was real as well.
Surprisingly, that it hurt, but not as much as the one in the wall. And then later on, it wasn't even in the film, so we're going over the plan for Batman to take out Riddler's leg. So I'm literally just directing him, and I'm like, right, I'm going to go to kick you. Just grab my leg and take it out. And he does.
When we weren't filming.
Full force, right in the back of my leg. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand and walk for about 5 or 10 minutes. It hurt so much. We weren't even shooting, dude. So it was just very, very draining because we had to do the fight stuff. The other stuff was fine. It was draining to find cool locations, getting the fake blood. Lighting's obviously going to be an issue. We did have a light, but and then members of the public were coming in and out.
So we're here. We're just waiting for some locals to leave the area so we can film. But how cool does this look? Totally not the same location as the opening fight scene. No, sorry. Completely different building. But oh my god. Yeah, this is what our budget can handle. I'm Batman.
Or they were there, but because it was quite an echoey structure, they were in the distance and chatting, but obviously you could hear it all. Yeah. So we had to wait till they stopped or go somewhere where we couldn't hear them.
So we drove for about 8 hours, filmed for about 5 or 6 hours, then had to drive 7 or 8 hours back. And it was nearly a 24-hour day because, like I say, we left at 1 or 2 in the morning and we didn't get home until about 11 p.m.
I loved it, personally. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was one of the shoots that I really loved because, one, I love the sights. 2, I loved the filming and obviously being with Eric and being with you. And it wasn't like the one in Derby. It wasn't like where it kind of dragged. For me, it was, quite action-packed and...
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And then, we got dinner on the way home and we did it half and half again. Although I say we did it half and half.
You did majority of it on the way back.
It was like 25-75 because you fell asleep and couldn't drive properly. And I was like, I'll do it. And then
I remember waking up at one point. We still had like an hour and a half left. I'm like, how are we not home?
On a good point though, we'd swapped from a manual to an automatic by that point, so the driving was a lot less physical. So it was a lot less painful to be in like the same.
I'm really proud of like the location scouting that we did throughout this. Like, all of the places we went around the country, some of them are just amazing locations. It was a few weeks after that, on May the 18th, when I didn't think it would be possible, but we filmed at Willerton Hall in Nottingham. I've got a friend who lives in Nottingham who pointed out that The Dark Knight Rises was shot there. That was a stand-in for Wayne Manor.
So a few days ago, I started plans and correspondence with Willerton Hall to film the Wayne Manor stuff there. They gave me a quote, and I'm going to do it. It's crazy that I'm going to be filming a portion of my movie at the same place where they shot The Dark Knight Rises. This movie, at this point, is very, very straining because the business at the minute is in dire straits financially. This is adding to it. But the movie will last forever. The footage will last forever. So it's worth it. I do feel burned out from the amount of content that I'm producing all at the same time whilst keeping up with these shoots every single month. In a few weeks we're going to Derby to film all of this stuff at the Batcave. It's not going to be easy. I might do a video strictly dedicated to a Kickstarter and see if I can get the funds to finish this. It's a lot more than I ever would have imagined. My partner's been my rock during all of this. She's been so super supportive and has believed in me and my vision. I think she believes in it more than I do now. I think what I'm more nervous about is that they're obviously expecting some like semi-professional crew to show up with like proper equipment, and then I'm gonna rock up with my son in a suit and a ridiculous latex old man mask.
I think maybe it was during the writing of the script I emailed them, but I didn't get a reply until a few months afterwards, and they gave me a quote, told me how much it would cost.
Which was quite reasonable, in
Which,
fairness.
it was reasonable, but genuinely was slightly out of our budget, but Ashley was like, just do it.
Well, you were like, oh, this is a really silly idea, but like, I'd love to do it. And then I kind of saw it and he was just like, I know it's too much. And I'm like, well, it's a once in a lifetime thing. It's not like you're going to have that opportunity again, because one, you'd have to set up a film, then you'd have to get the permission again and etc. So it just seemed like it all came together. So you might as well. You can get money back. You can't get the experience back.
So I've just made the payment and I've booked in to film at Woollerton Hall. Wayne Manor from The Dark Knight Rises. I don't know how I feel right now. To be fair, I'm just trying to capture this in real time because at the minute I'm in a low place in my personal life with finances and my career, and maybe I'll look back at this clip when the movie's out or something and I'll be impressed, or I don't know. But this was like the biggest one purchase made on the whole movie, and I don't even know if it's going to be worth it, or I'm concerned that we're going to go bankrupt, if I'm honest. People are probably going to watch this or they'll see it and they'll think I've fucking lost my mind. All my savings are going into this. I don't know.
Walking from the car park to this giant manor house dressed as Batman was hilarious. There were deer staring at me.
It was, yeah. They were like, what?
So we brought Beto, who did again amazing drone work.
Okay, so today we are heading up to Nottingham to film Wayne Manor at the actual Wayne Manor, Woollerton Hall, where they shot The Dark Knight Rises. Bit of issues with this one. This is why I'm not going to make another movie where I have to direct other people again, because I'm just such a disorganised mess. We had the shoot planned for 5 months now, and then literally a couple of weeks ago I just had this idea of extra shots that we could do via a drone. So I invited Beto along to do some drone footage, and I didn't realise that they have a drone policy. I have dropped them an email just to see if we can get clearance to use the drone. So as of recording this, I don't know if we're going to be allowed to use it, because that might need more notice and more permission required. That kind of goes beyond our permit. But if we can't use the drone, we're going to use a 360 camera anyway, so let's do this.
Brought Eric because he was the stand-in for Alfred. Now originally, Alfred, I really wanted your granddad to be Alfred, and she just wouldn't ask him.
No, because he's not a people person, and he's not.
And I am.
Well, no, but he's not the sort of person that would film. It's not really.
I either wanted someone else to play Alfred, or like to exaggerate Alfred's age. So if we could get like a 110-year-old who can barely walk to be Alfred, I would have done it. We spent all of that money to film in the same place as Dark Knight Rises just for me to be like,
okay,
You need to be walking towards me in a pattern, right? You can't figure out what's going on. And then you follow me as I walk over there. Right, ready to go?
Yep.
The shoot, we had, technically we had 3 hours to film, but one of those hours the building would have been open to the public. So we had 2 hours exclusive access, 2 scenes, 3 counting the drone. We did the drone first because that would have been the time consuming bit. And they did remind us you've only got 2 hours to film indoors.
And obviously you couldn't really do the drone shots with people walking about, so you'd have to do that first anyway.
I mean, you can see one person, but that was Robin. We got it done in about an hour and a half, but there is a moment where we did the Alfred bit, and I'm so glad we looked over the footage because Ashley didn't have the microphone on.
Look, so yeah, that happened several times.
We had to go and reshoot it again, but not that it matters. We get to July 2025. And this was going to be a ridiculously hectic week because...
And it was.
The last time that I tried to film a bunch of stuff with a bunch of people was the first movie. This was going to be the biggest shoot because this had the most people involved. There were a few people who I'd never met before who were there. Off the top of my... There was about 12 or 13 people, I think, in our house.
Yeah.
In theory, this time next week, everything from Ready to Stumble should be filmed. It's weird that we've made it. In 9 months, we filmed a movie, and it's kind of surreal. I owe so many people so much for this shoot. For all of it, for the whole film, that we've managed to do this. Especially huge shout out to my partner, Ashley, who's worked as a project manager, because she's put together all of these shoots. She's been there for almost every shoot, and she's pushed me to keep going, and here we are. In 3 days' time, I'm going to go pick up Jimmy. A couple of days after that, I'm going to go pick up Dave, and then next Saturday, we're going to film the stuff in the field with all of the characters, and then the Sunday is the big battle. I'm nervous. Some people have recently backed out of the shoot, and we're trying to find replacements. I'm always pretty good at thinking on my feet, finding alternatives. You know, the more actors I get, the less split screens I have to do. So I am on my way to pick up Jimmy, the motherfucker, as well as playing Jimmy. And at the time of recording this, he was supposed to play Dr. Evil, but the costume has not arrived in time. He's playing the mask. I mean, he's still got a couple of days to arrive. There was a postal strike, so it's feeling a bit more real now. I'm incredibly anxious to shoot it, and I'm absolutely terrified to edit it. I know it's going to be such a daunting task when I've got this colossal amount of footage of the battle that I need to somehow slice together. It's not going to be a good time. So I've just arrived in Southampton, just picking up Jimmy. He's currently on the ferry. He's from the Isle of Wight, so we're going to pick him up, and this is the final shooting week. I still can't believe it's here. I can't believe we managed to get everything done, and it's just a bit surreal that this is almost like the Avengers assembling. So I'm in Queen's Park. Jimmy should be approaching up here. This is where the Titanic's plaque is. But I cannot see the man. So that's the plaque there. But no sign of Jimmy. Should be coming from up that area. But I don't see him. No sign of the motherfucker.
Where's Rob? How can we not find each other in a park? This is just incompetence of the highest order.
What are we doing? We're grown men.
What is this?
We're grown men playing hide and seek around a tree.
I thought you were going to go chase me.
Are you ready to shoot the greatest movie of all time?
Yes. It's not... The incompetence has already started, I think.
How dare you? This is a very serious play.
The days leading up to it, Jimmy had come over. So me and Jimmy were able to go and film a bunch of stuff ahead of time. So the stuff with like the angry unnamed German soldier on the blue screen, as well as Dennis, Riddler on the phone, which is a deleted scene, post-credit scenes, all done around July the 10th. We also managed to shoot me and Jimmy bursting into the house threatening Eric around the same time, before the big battle. And then it went down.
So, you can't see him because my phone does not cover both, but Jimmy, the motherfucker, is sat next to me. We are currently on our way to Birmingham for the next pickup, to pick up Dave, who I was surprised a blob of energy could fit in costumes like the Honey Puff Monster, but he's managing it. He's going to be playing a few roles, and yeah, it's beginning. I'm absolutely terrified, if I'm completely honest. Tomorrow's shoot is later in the day, which is a little annoying because I like to get started ASAP, and I absolutely hate filming in public. But this is the last time we'll be doing a public shoot. Sunday, there's going to be people behind the scenes just for the experience that I've never acted in front of, so I am nervous, but at least I've met most of them. How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Because he's not met any of them. So we've worked out a schedule, and if it goes according to plan, we're going to start filming at 10 in the morning on the Sunday, and it's going to wrap by 6 p.m. That's stopping for a half-hour break for lunch. So we have a schedule. Some shots won't take as long as we've penciled in. We've given ourselves extra time. We'll see how it goes. But once it's shot, I then have the duty of somehow editing down all of that and compiling it into something resembling a sequence. And it's going to be a very, very stressful job. So, today it begins. Today is when we're shooting the big lineup scene in the field where all of the heroes and villains show up to confront Batman and co. Now, on paper, this scene isn't particularly difficult, it's quite short. However, it's going to be a lot of costume changes, and it wouldn't be a Stumbles movie without people dropping out of the production at the last minute. So some people have backed out, but we're gonna make the best out of this situation. You know, I wanted as many people in this shoot as possible, so I could do as less split screens as possible. But it looks like it's inevitable. I'm having to step in to play multiple roles. I'm going to use my son as an extra body double. We've got Dave, we've got Jimmy, my partner's colleague Anthony, who's playing a few people. He's going to be there as well, so it'll be fine. Today we fight. So we are now just gone 10 in the morning. Me and Jimmy are here now, just picking up Kane, who was kindly offered to replace someone who's dropped out to play Jesus, because I was going to do it, but that makes it a lot easier. So it's coming together. The Avengers are assembling. We start filming in 2.5 hours. You're nervous?
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
I am terrified. It's time. This feels so much like different to the first film because some people were travelling, but like a lot of them were local, and we're doing the pickups, and it feels like an actual film. Which you might disagree when you see the final cut. But honestly, yeah, if people like it, I'm really glad. But I think it's great. I think it's funny. And if you disagree, you're wrong. So I'm not massively fussed. If it goes out on the internet and everyone slags it off, we've had an absolute blast making it. Even like the past few days, the few things that we've shot, it's just been surreal. So we're just waiting for Kane here, who I've never met in person. He's been a subscriber for a while. He kindly donated to the Indiegogo, which is why he's in the movie. But he technically should have only had one cameo, and he's got multiple. So his resume is going to be wild after this. So we have Jesus and Cousin It and Michael Myers and who else are you playing? Marty McFly. How are you feeling?
It's like a building. Excited, nervous, want to do more.
Pretty much the same, yeah. So at the time of recording this, we've got just over 2 hours to go before it starts. Nothing can possibly go wrong. I mean, to be fair, there's no clouds, so weather should be on our side, but that's probably going to be our downfall because it's going to be hot as fuck. It'll be fine. It will be fine. But yeah, today's a much smaller shoot. I'm just nervous that, like, the majority of this can't be redone, so it has to be done in the next couple days. Otherwise, the world will end.
It was on the 12th, July the 12th, when Dave joined us for the night, and then we filmed part 1 of the big battle, which wasn't as hectic as the following day, but in total, there was us, the kids, Jimmy, Dave, Anthony, Kane. We went up to the field, and this was July the 12th, so it was the summer. And fair play for Dave for getting in that honey puff monster costume, because that was ridiculous. I had to dress as Angry Unnamed German Soldier in public. The one and only time I dressed as him in public, and will ever dress as him in public. And someone literally kept going past on a bike, and at one point I was like, right, do the moustache, and the costume, filmed it as quickly as I could. Didn't get caught, it's all good. That was a lot of fun. People seem to have a lot of fun at the field.
So at the minute, this is literally, this is the plan for the lineup for today's shoot, the Saturday shoot. So thankfully I've only got to do one split screen per side, with me only playing 2 characters, which is nice. This is basically a sketch of, I don't know if it's going to end up being used in the movie. I really hope it does, because in my head it looks awesome. But it's going to be a long take in which the camera's going to slowly pan around the garden. And once, Batman, me and Jimmy leave the frame, we're going to run in the house and get changed. So then I can be Ernest against the mask. Then the camera will pan out and people are just going to be continuously changing costumes. I've been a bit optimistic here. It might be me playing 3 in this shot. It might just be 2. Let's see where I can go with this. So this is what today looks like. We've got Kermit.
Hey, how you doing?
Blade. And the Lord. So Dave, you're a mystical blob of energy. How have you filled up an entire human-sized Power Ranger costume? You're the cutest Kermit I've ever seen.
Anthony looks great as Blade. He's the only one of us who actually looks cool, like everyone else. It was annoying as well, because the big lineup of the villains, I was trying to do another split screen of me, like I did with the wide one. That area that we walked down is too narrow, so I couldn't. But also, I'd ordered the Hulk Hogan costume, and it didn't come with the beard. The ad said that it did. So we had to literally Amazon Prime it, and thankfully, amazing, I love Amazon, it arrived the next day during the shoot,
Just in time.
right when we needed it. It was hard work because it was so hot up that field. Audio issues again because it's so high up, so we had to do a lot of dubbing.
So, day 1
has been complete. I have no energy. Today was very, very hot. It involved not many costume changes, but a lot of walking and acting in this heat. And I'm about to die. We also filmed a review for Venom month. And it was 31 pages. And tomorrow is going to be significantly worse. It will be worth it. It will be worth it. So, today's shoot was a lot of fun. Anthony for the first time playing Blade. This whole thing has been a surreal experience. I came for the first time, he did amazing, and it's great to have this collection of people all together. This is what this was all about, kind of taking me back to that experience of the first movie, but making a film that's not god awful. And in just over 12 hours. There is one extra scene that needs to be shot separately another time because the person isn't available, but this is the culmination. This is what I've been building up to all year. I can't believe this. And I know, like, it's so mentally draining, acting and directing at the same time. It takes its toll on you. And I'm not going to be the best person to be around, but I just hope that everyone involved knows how much I appreciate them and has as much fun as I'm having making this. And everyone watching this, you guys made this possible. So thank you.
On July the 13th, 2025 was going to be the biggest shoot and the only one that we actually had a schedule for.
Not even supposed to be up till like 8. We start shooting in 3 hours. There's going to be a lot more people this time around. You'd think I wouldn't be nervous because it's a much more controlled shoot than what we're used to, considering it's in our house. But there's so much to do. It's also incredibly mentally draining directing and acting at the same time. It's not just a case of remembering lines and everything. I've got to kind of visualise how we're going to shoot it. And with this many people, obviously, I don't want to let them down. These people have travelled from all over. What's the worst that could happen?
So I am a very anxious person, as everybody knows, especially socially. So having this many people, not only in our house, but acting in front of, makes me very, very nervous. Again, me and Ashley put our tisms together and organised every single shot, every single shoot, and we penciled in 5 minutes per shot, unless it was a bit more sophisticated.
We are stressed because we're trying to make sure everything is done. We're trying to put together a timesheet for all of the actors and shot lists. We're trying to make sure that we're prepared. But this is like a colossal 2-day shoot in which we can't go back and redo. This is make or break.
We had an entire schedule. We gave them to everyone. And we're like, this is when you're needed and when you're getting into a costume. We changed the garage.
Printed it and everything, didn't we?
Yeah, we changed the garage into a costume room. I showed everyone where it was.
You say we, that was Rob. It was very impressive.
Every costume was labelled. I went full autism.
It was like on hangers. There was a hanging rail in there. You'd had it on shelves. Everything
sticky
was,
notes.
Yeah, sticky noted. We still lost everything, but still.
So it's a bit of a mess, but this is our setup. So we've got costumes all on these shelves. Everything is sticky noted, as you do. All on the shelves. Run out of room. All of these costumes, all noted. There's Adam West there. And then I've also got this all sticky noted. Ending with kick-ass, and then there's a bit more here with Blade. We've got an extra Batman in case other people show up, but who are we kidding? Deadpool. I think we're good to go.
Ashley did the run around to pick up actors and stuff. Dave was asleep on our sofa. Jimmy had his own room. I got up 6 or 7 in the morning, and the anxiety had kicked in because I was so nervous in front of all. I was bouncing off the walls, and I was so annoying. And to everyone involved, I am so sorry, because I was literally like, Dave, get up!
Let's do this!
And then Luke arrived, and he arrived. And by the way, so I told Luke, we're going to treat this as kind of like the wrap party as well. And he goes, yeah, I'll show up and see if I can, you know, do another scene as Adam West. And I was like, Adam West died. Oh, like it matters. So that's why he's in the final battle for no reason. He did toy around with the idea of having a neck brace, but didn't get time. But so Luke showed up. I'm like, come on, guys! Don't judge me, but we bought drinks for everyone, and I started drinking beer at like 8 in the morning, 7 because we started filming at 8. So I started about 7:30. I had about 2 beers just to try to ease my nerves. That's what I was worried about with doing this essentially solo, with me playing almost every role, is that I wanted this to be a big production with loads of people, and it managed to happen, and I'm forever grateful for that, because obviously Jimmy was already a recurring character. Dave was on the Scotland shoot. Kane was another one I hadn't actually met before. Again, he was a subscriber who wanted to be involved, so I invited him. Then there was Tilly, who's done a bit of acting herself, so she was fully willing to jump in there. Obviously, we've gone over Williams. Your own dad.
I know, yeah. He was like, yeah, I'll be in it.
He wanted a role. He was actually the one who approached me.
So, I've created... Ignore this. I've just used AI to generate my friends' voices to make them say silly things. I've put a few hidden meanings in here with actual dialogue, and I've just created the voice with AI, and I'm scared to click play.
Guten Maltischen Morgen. Heute möchte ich über die Disco-Eichhörnchen sprechen, die in das Marshmallow-Königreich eingedrungen sind. Ich liebe Eichhörner, am liebsten mag ich die pinken mit Glitzer, der aus ihren Schwänzen kommt. Bitte geh nicht ins Internet und übersetze das.
It doesn't sound angry enough.
No.
I wonder if I can make it sound more aggressive.
Yeah. I'm struggling out to work out. It's not 4 different pieces. It's really weird, honestly. It's like...
What is this? Looks like hay. And then basically you can stand up again and be like, whoa. Right. Action.
Don't worry, Daredevil. I will save you.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know, actually.
I'm here for the battle.
Oh yeah, come on through. So I just re-recorded it all in a much more angrier tone. So hopefully we've now got a much more aggressive.
Guten Maltischen Morgen. Heute möchte ich über die Disco-Eichhörnchen sprechen, die in das Marshmallow-Königreich eingedrungen sind. Flauschige Einhörner, hübsche Regenbögen, Flüsse aus Schokolade. Die Häschen von Narnia werden die Welt erobern. Ich liebe Einhörner. Am liebsten mag ich die pinken mit Glitzer, der aus ihren Schwänzen kommt. Bitte geh nicht ins Internet und übersetze das.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Just let her know that we're doing the scene. Actually, since we're in the garden, just let her know we're doing it where I chucked it out the window. So, if you go let your mum know, and I'll go get the mattress ready.
How are you feeling, Rob?
We're flying through it.
Yeah, it's
I
going
just
very
got
well.
lightsabered.
It's going well. There's several things that got done in one shot which I didn't expect.
So Barnacle Boy here. Jimmy, can you run to me? Oh.
This is the costume room. It's the Ghostbuster.
I'm here to do it.
Here to bust ghosts.
Yeah, but
How's never going to get over this costume?
This was a non-negotiable character.
Essential to the plot. Luke, how are you feeling being involved in such a production?
I like if I'd got a red lightsaber.
He's happy.
Awesome.
When is your scene?
Soon I gotta get. Yeah, Adam West will be here soon.
How's it going?
We're nearly done. Can you see the sweat?
Yes.
Let me just move this crap body mat. Hold on, if you stop recording.
Can I get a quote from the Honey Monster?
It's just that that's very
Well done. And Jesus is helping out Batman. Batman is back.
We're doing it chronologically, so it's not even like all in one costume, then in another.
It's going well though.
Oh, let's go.
I've got to dress up as the mask again in a bit, which I'm not looking forward to.
Because I wanted it to be clear, like, we know this is dumb, we know this is ridiculous, and we don't care, we're just going to have fun. Some people have criticised the AI. That didn't come until later. So the original idea was to have a genuine, like, we're going to pay loads of artists and all this stuff. And the idea came in 2023 when YouTube was bringing in a decent amount of money for us, so we could have done that. And we kind of dropped that. And then we realised we could do this with AI. And I know a lot of people have kind of criticised that. I'm not really understand. I think people taking it a lot more seriously than they're supposed to. Because some people saying, oh, if it's distracting, I get it, because you're going from us to AI and it is a bit confusing.
It's a tiny bit out of place because it's not the same, but it looks similar. Like, you know, the garden areas, it's not technically based on a garden, but it kind of looks a bit like a garden.
So that was the idea. I wanted people to be like, what is going on? That was
Kermit even turned up, but we already have a Kermit, and I was like, what?
Like, that was the idea. I wanted it to be what is going on and to be so outside the realms of normality that it's just so absurd.
But it does fit your film, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, it does fit the theme of it.
Like, someone was like, oh, it's just distracting when you go from your characters to ridiculous, impossible stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. We have
ridiculous, impossible stuff.
A dinosaur comes in. Now, I did use AI to make Tilly breathe fire, but you've also got Darth Vader and Jesus fighting with the Force. Like, there's no different to what we filmed and AI. The genuine special effects, such as Ernest using lightning, that was done by Nick Simon. The Force special effects was done by Nick. The stuff in the sky, other than Superman, was done by Nick. Nick did a great job with the special effects. Everything. I think people just take that too seriously, but it was just ridiculous on purpose.
You're not going to please everyone, though. It's one of those.
No. People have a hate boner for AI, and it's like, it's just for fun. Like, it's not that deep. So normally with a shoot, everything is filmed with me. As in, we film a shot, I then go and get changed, and then I'm back to be behind the camera to direct. In this one, we didn't really plan this. It just kind of naturally happened throughout the day, and I will never thank you enough for that, because you made this so much easier than it was going to be, because I played so many characters, and it wasn't a case of let's film all of Batman first, then all of Riddler, then all of whoever else I might have played that day. It was all done randomly, so I'd be Batman, and then I'd be the Riddler, then I'd be Batman again, and then I'd be Michael Myers, and then I'm Batman again, and I was wiped. So normally I'm behind the camera, but as I'm constantly changing, Ashley just filmed stuff that I wasn't directly needed for, but because we had spent 8 or 9 months filming, she kind of got the grasp of what it was I was looking for. So even though she didn't have like... Oh, no, there was a script. There was a script on set, but she could read that and be like, right, let's just film this.
And you gave me pointers as well, like obviously the Adam West stuff. You're like, can you do it this way, or?
Yeah, so if there was a specific shot that I had a very specific angle that I needed, then I would explain. Like, for example, there's a shot that doesn't make it into the film, you know, where the Death Note gets thrown. That's shown, but in the original take, it was all in one motion. So I said, well, I need the camera on me, then you pan over to someone else, then... So things like that. But I was able
that took forever, and we didn't even use it. I'm bitter.
I was able to go and get changed, and while I'm getting changed, I could hear Ashley continue. So you didn't even get a break.
No.
That's what I think you found this to be most draining.
Yeah.
And it just sped up the whole process so much quicker, so thank you. And then afterwards, we had pizza, and then at some point I vanished, because my social battery had run out. I was in the garden and I heard you say either he's gone to the toilet or he's hiding because the social battery ran out. I was collapsed on the table. And then Jimmy kind of just wanders into the garden and then sees me. And then it kind of backfired because I'm outside trying to decompress. And then Jimmy comes out, then Dave comes out, then Kane comes out, and they all sit with me. And I'm like, dude,
this is the point.
I was trying to unwind.
This was the hardest day of the entire production. It was so much fun. Having all these people come together, some of which, Omni-Man and Poison Ivy, I had never met before. Kane, who played Jesus' cousin, he really committed. I hadn't met him before. He was a subscriber who donated. And having these people come together, and we filmed from 10 in the morning till about 5:30. We were scheduled till 6, so we finished ahead of time. And it's surreal. There are a couple of bits that need to be done, just like post-credit scenes and, you know, a few things. Me answering the door and Sam being there to deliver the glow, like things like that. I had to, you know, as the shoot went along, I had to tone a few things down. So, you know, a lot of it isn't how it was written. I had to scrap a few scenes, tone down a few things. Originally, Batman was going to go on a much more gruesome killing spree. So I didn't want to do a voice note. I thought this would be a bit more personal. But I'm sat here and I'm just kind of putting a bit of the opening credits together. And it's actually quite emotional. So I just wanted to reiterate again, and you're going to hear this a lot from me in the next few months, but thank you all, honestly. Seeing all of this come together, even in just this small section of the opening credits, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people involved in these credits, and it's not even done. Some of you are still sending in some cameos for it, and I need to film one more scene with someone as well at some point, but it looks better than it should. And I just can't wait for all of you to see it on January the 4th. This experience was something that I'm never going to forget. And it's wild that it was exactly 12 years and 1 month from when we began filming the first movie. And even though today was all over the place and was still a bunch of idiots in stupid costumes, like, it was some of the most fun I've ever had. I feel like we did what the first movie intended, but did it right this time. And I hope the people watching it have as much fun as we had making it, because this was an absolute blast. And the fact that I've spent 10 years of my life putting this together means that it just means so much more. And I don't think I can ever repay those involved who came together after all this time, after all of its setbacks, and you know, they came and helped see it through. They believed in me. They believed in the project. And I just can't believe that we did it. We did it.
I also remember there was an instance 2 times by 2 different people. So one was your dad, the other was Anthony, where during all of this, maybe after the shoot, I can't remember, but they were both like, because we reshot some of Anthony's stuff because he wasn't 100% happy with it. Both him and your dad both asked me, so what's the context with all of this? All of these scenes? How does this fit into the story? And I didn't tell him. I was like, don't worry about it. So
it's just going to slot.
So literally all of these people showed up to like shoot Jesus, and none of them had questioned it. They put a lot of faith in me. And and they were just going to learn about the plot. Really, like even you didn't fully know the total plot.
No, not at all, to be honest, because I think especially with the battle scene, you wanted to keep it quite like hush hush, so it was even more impressive when we saw it at the premiere. So you were like, you're just going to see random things out of context, and I'm going to put it together, but you're not going to know how.
Everyone seemed to enjoy it. It was just such an exhausting day, and somehow compiling all of that into some kind of comprehensive fight scene was very daunting. I don't think I touched the footage for about 3 months because I was about exaggeration, maybe month and a half, 2 months, because I was so nervous. Like, how do you condense that? Because there's no plot as far as the battle goes. It's just random shit.
I think there's a lot of pressure on it as well, because if we needed to reshoot anything, tough. Because for that to all come together the way it did, you can't really recreate it in any way. So if I'd have like messed up any of the scenes, or if you'd have missed out a scene or anything like that, we would have to basically rewrite the script, because there's no way we can bring everyone together again to redo it.
There were no reshoots available. Jimmy lives on the Isle of Wight. Kane's in Sheffield. Dave's in Birmingham, so that's not too bad. But
and Tilly's about an hour away.
To get everyone together, it was kind of
the same day.
It was going to be a one deal kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have to say as well that with the Batman costume on, people are able to hit me for real and it doesn't hurt. I realised in the Scotland thing, because Eric, after so many injuries, was a bit apprehensive to punch me. So I was like, no, hit me and it doesn't. If you hit me on the side. So Jimmy took full advantage of that.
I was going to say.
So there's parts where he's punching me, and obviously I'm in character, so I'm just taking it. And then at the end, I'm like, Jesus! It hurts after a while, but we had a lot of fun with that. We're now approaching the end of the production, and on August the 9th, we filmed a bunch more of post-credit scenes. I wanted as many as possible, so they didn't even have to make any sense. Because even at the premiere, Sam was like, how is he alive? Don't worry about it.
I even said that, didn't I? I was like, how have they survived? And you were like, it's part of the film. Part of the film, like...
It's because it's another trope where they kill off superheroes, but they always come back.
So, today, quite literally today, is the 10-year anniversary of the first movie's release. This is where, you know, the deadline was to get the movie made. Technically, it's not made, but it's so close. Everything's been filmed, but I've added a few scenes because, of course, I have. So there's a musical number in between that no one actually knows about, except those involved in it. So I need to film that, and some extra cameos are being shot and sent in. The opening credits have been done, which look phenomenal. The venue's all booked. It's coming together. I'm going to be spending the next few weeks doing some dubbing and audio work, but I cannot emphasize just how happy I am with how everything looks and how much I appreciate everyone's help on it. It's incredible. And to do a whole premiere as well. This is nuts. It's also the second and last trailer dropped just a few hours ago. Not many people have seen it, doesn't have many views, but those who have seen it are really impressed with it. So, you know, it was a lot more serious than the previous trailer, and I think it would catch people off guard. It wouldn't be what they were expecting, and I'm hoping that'll be like it for the movie itself as well.
Sam loves my humour. He
has the exact same humour.
He very often adds to my stupid ideas. He is campaigning for a third movie where Banana Man is the main villain.
By that point, obviously, I was burnt out when it came to like filming and things, and you were like, and another scene we're going to add, and another scene we're going to add. But luckily, you actually did all of those scenes.
As of today, October the 13th, 2025, the absolute final shot of the movie is being done. It is then just post-production. I then have about a month and a half to finalize the edit and get the movie finished, so the venue can make sure that the video and audio equipment is all working fine for the premiere on January the 4th. So it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Feel really real now. So I just wanted to, again, thank you everyone so much for being here during this journey, for believing in me and my stupid sense of humour. And I really hope that you like what I've put together here. Otherwise, all of this has been for nothing.
For the next few months, you know, it was fully shot. I'm such a perfectionist. So I'd put the movie together and I'd watch it over and I'd notice a tiny error that no one else would clock. And I was like, no, I need to fix that. And bear in mind, I'm rendering this movie in 4K. My PC...
About 72 times he did that.
My PC takes 24 hours to render this. And that's a long time. So I'll notice an error, render it, cool. Watch it over, spot something else. Render it again, 24. Now bear in mind, I'm still making content at this point. So not having access, I can't edit while it's rendering because of the quality. So that's 48 hours where I just can't do anything. And then, oh, there's another error, render it. And this happened on repeat to the point, the premiere was January the 3rd, 2026. And I think the final render was January the 1st, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was very, very near, I think.
Well, technically didn't do it by the September deadline, but ready to Stubble's rendering. The version without the music. I don't know, it feels it feels surreal. I've taken my time with this edit. I'm really happy with how it looks. And, you know, a lot of the comedy towards the end, I wanted it to be a gradual thing. And I'm predicting that I'm probably going to cry at the premiere. One or two ways, either nobody likes it and I cry, or everyone loves it and I cry. So it's interesting. I just can't believe it's here. I can't believe it's happened. It's done. I'm not sure what to do now. It's done. The movie is done. Sam sent the final bits of music this morning. All done. I went and filmed a last minute edition. And it's surreal. 10 years and it's done. And I will forever be grateful for all of the people who have helped in every process, writing, producing, shooting, editing, you know, acting, all of it, music, special effects. It's been a dream to get this made and you've made this possible, so thank you. I can't wait to hopefully see all of you on January the 4th for the in-person premiere in the UK. I need to work out the details on how to do it virtually on the following week, on the 10th of January, for everyone overseas, but honestly, thank you so much.
You know, thankfully, the majority of the cast were able to come to the premiere. I was very nervous because I knew I wanted to do a speech, but I had about 3 months prep work, and again, I had alcohol very early on that morning.
It's the day before the premiere. I'm getting ready to go and pick Jimmy up from the docks. He's coming back from the Isle of Wight for the premiere. The fear. I think psychologically I found a way around it. I plan on filming the premiere and filming my speech. So if I just find a way to tune out everyone and literally just focus on the camera lens like it's a video, I think I've got it. I think I've got it. So everyone's gone to bed. And I'm just trying to document these thoughts the night before. I can hear them. Not the thoughts, but the people upstairs. I'm terrified. I'm not massively concerned about what people think of the film because I'm very, very proud of it. It's the speech. I just wanted to do this video night before the premiere because 10 years has been built up to this, and the gut-wrenching fear in my soul
To be fair, it's more for the public speaking, not what people think of the movie, but 10 years has built up to this, and it's, you know, I've had about 4 months to prepare for this event in particular. I'm probably not going to sleep a wink tonight. I'm going to reiterate this a lot, but thank you, every single person who made this a possibility, made this actually something that could be completed to fruition. You know, there were countless times I gave up, but you guys pushed through. Genuinely, thank you. And I hope to see a lot of you tomorrow. I don't really know how I'm going to get through this, but I'm going to do my best to just focus on the camera and not worry about the crowd of people. 10 years has built up to this. So, we're literally about 45 minutes away from arriving at the venue, which makes it about an hour and 45 minutes before the speech. I'm not going to lie to you, it's about 10:15 in the morning and I've had 2 drinks of alcohol. When you see the speech, did I look like I knew what I was talking about? Did I look confident? Did I trick you all? I'm just going to focus on the lens and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. No one had seen, other than, so Sam and Sarah had seen the music video, but other than that, no one had actually seen a single frame of the film, which is actually both exciting but very nerve-wracking, because I need feedback sometimes. And without that, people are putting so much trust in me. So, and then doing the music, because Sam sent me the music, but it was down to me for placement, and I had a lot of fun with that. The premiere happens. I was really happy with the reception. So, I think it went well. You know, it got some laughs, and I'm still quite drunk. There is a moment during my speech that I clearly start to lose focus and forget what I was supposed to say, and I try to buy time by talking to Alice. She was supposed to thank everyone originally, but she got a bit of stage fright. A good chunk of the audience left after the movie. They didn't stick for the bloopers or deleted scenes, which is fair enough. And some people, it just wasn't their thing. I'm happy with the reactions we got. And, you know, my fear was always the speech. Didn't particularly matter to me what people thought of the film. It got positive reviews, which is cool, but it was, you know, it's something that I spent this long perfecting, that I was happy with. And honestly, that's all that matters, really. I know that when this drops, when this hits YouTube, and I know I've opened the door for criticism, and that's fine. I like it. So, all it is, if you make something, you know, and you're putting it on the internet, obviously it's going to be criticised. But to me, if you're happy with it, that's genuinely all that matters. There was feedback given, and because of that, I decided to make some more re-edits. And even at the time of recording this, on the
still being re-edited
4th of April, the music is still being placed around and in slight altercations being made before the bonus features can be finalised and sent out on DVD and then ultimately published to YouTube as well. But overall, considering I've watched the movie numerous times, I'm not sick of it yet. I'm really happy with it because it's very self-aware. It knows what it is. It knows it's stupid. It doesn't take itself too seriously. There's a bit of a sentimental ending, which is something I kind of wanted to get across. There's no excuses this time around. If it comes out to YouTube and everyone thinks it sucks, fair enough. The movie is exactly how I had envisioned it. I personally am really happy with it.
I don't think anyone will be criticising the shooting of the film. compared to the first one, if that makes sense. Because if you see any clips of the first one and then you watch the second one, you'll be like, oh my god. Obviously the drone shots, that definitely puts it out there like a lot
Thanks,
more than it
Beto.
should have been. But I think the quality of the camera work, but obviously the storyline as well. Like, even if they don't like the film, they're going to appreciate the difference regardless. So, especially if they've got a history with the first one. My family and my colleagues came to the premiere. Now, they're not YouTube people. They're going to look at this film and be like, what was that? But even they were like appreciative of like obviously all the effort that was put into it, the shots, the locations. It's not just something that was shot in your back garden on a Wednesday.
Some.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, well, yeah, obviously the main battle was, but you know, there was a lot of thought put into it, and you could appreciate that regardless to whether you're a YouTube person or not.
Third film?
If it was done properly, I'd indulge it.
So, I think that I love the humour in it, and I think there's more to work with that sense of humour. And I've probably got half a dozen plot ideas for a third one, but it won't be anytime soon.
The thing is, who would you bring back for it though? Like, it'd be you, yourself, and I again, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got about half a dozen ideas for a plot for a third one. I think there's more to explore there, and I had such a blast. It wouldn't be anytime soon, and I wouldn't limit it again to being filmed all within a year. I'd probably space it out to maybe 2 years, but
purposefully though, I believe making it in a year was really good in the sense of getting it done, in the sense of like the motivation to actually condense it to get it done to a good standard. It's not just spread out and kind of like, you know, oh, we might do this, we might do that. It was like, no, we have to sit down, we have to make sure that we have every single scene accounted for.
I also I'm very competitive, and that goes with myself as well. And I always want to go bigger and better. So if I do a third one, I would want to aim higher. And it's kind of finding a way to do that. Because if we were to do a third one...
Beto, are you available, yeah?
If we were to do a third one, I'd want to put more money in it.
Yeah, this was quite an expensive project.
Yeah, so I'd need to think out the logistics. I have a Seeking Answers movie in mind that is significantly cheaper, and I'm going over the plans for that. But I did have an absolute blast making this. I think doing it over a year is kind of mental because none of it was done really in sequence. You know, I just did so many things out of order, and then, you know, they kind of seeing it all come together is just very impressive and emotional. So genuinely thank everyone, especially you, for helping put it together after 10 years. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys liked the bonus features. Maybe there'll be a part 3.
Could be 50 playing Batman, yeah.
That's the thing. I could play Batman for 5 more films, or Lenny. I just love them so much.
I'd be interested to be more involved in like the script, not the ideas of the script, because I'll leave that to you, but just in general of like organising the shoots and making it a bit more structured.
Watch this space.